Now is the time where we have our Goats in a Bad Way draft. Peter King gets the trivia question. If he gets it right, he gets the first pick. If he gets it wrong, Sims gets the first pick. Either way, I will pick last. Peter, Eli Manning started last night for the first time since week 2. Eli Manning is one of 5 players to win multiple Super Bowl MVP awards. Name 3 others.
Joe Montana, Tom Brady, and Terry Bradshaw.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculously easy. Absolutely ridiculous.
The other one's Bart Starr. Yeah, that's pretty easy. That's pretty easy. Jim Turner is not one of the choices in that one. I'm going to save Jim Turner for a later day. All right, Peter, you get the first pick.
I'm going to give it to Sam Beal of the New York Giants. You know, this is one of a very questionable picks by the Giants in recent years. They used a third-round supplemental pick 2 summers ago, or a year and a half ago, to take him. So, in other words, it cost them the 70th pick in the draft this year, which only could have been guys like Terry McLaurin of the Redskins and Chase Winovich of the Patriots. But be that as it may, you know, last night against the Eagles, Giants are up by 7. They're about to get off the field. But no, on third down, when the Eagles do not convert, Sam Beal is caught illegal contact. And so that gives the Giants, that gives the Eagles a first down. It allows them to continue the drive. And then in overtime, twice he gets beat for completions on the overtime drive. It's just, you know, he's one guy on that defense. And you could have picked other guys on that defense, but give me Sam Beal for a flop job at the end of the Giants' loss in Philly.
Yeah, well, they certainly attacked him. There's no doubt about that. And that Giants defense is in strugglesville, as we know, altogether. All right, you know what? I'm taking a little different angle this one. I'm going with the referees in the Patriots-Chiefs game. You know, in a game where the Chiefs were, I thought, just in my opinion, after watching the film and everything, like clearly the better team. And had chances at one point to really almost, I mean, the game was 23-7, and they had the ball at the middle of the field, the Kansas City Chiefs. After saying all that, the New England Patriots had chances to win this football game and were screwed over by the refs in that game. And 2 different points where it cost them 14 points. I mean, one, of course, we know, the Travis Kelce fumble. Stephon Gilmore is picking that up. It looks like he's going to run for a touchdown. If he's not going to run for a touchdown, he's going to get down there really close to the end zone and at least put them in field goal territory. Then, of course, because of an earlier challenge in the second half, there is the N'Keal Harry stepping out of bounds. They call him out of the 3-yard line. He was not out of bounds, dives in for a touchdown. To me, those were huge moments in that football game that really cost New England, who wasn't necessarily the better team on the field, but in a typical New England way, hung around and had chances to win that and were screwed over by the refs.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge point and a good pick. And you know what? There needs to be greater accountability for the officials. It drives me crazy when it happens right in front of the guy, as the N'Keal Harry play did. You're right there, and you don't see the guy's foot was still fully within the green. All right, for me, this is the easiest GOAT pick I will ever make. This is a guy who self-goated himself, Chris. Bill O'Brien, the head coach of the Houston Texans, after his team was blown off the field by the Denver Broncos, for crying out loud. O'Brien said, I don't think there was anything very good today. I take full responsibility. I did not have this team ready to play. I thought I did, but I thought wrong. So, Billy O, you get the credit when you beat the Patriots. You get the blame when your team isn't ready to beat a Broncos team that really isn't playing for anything at a time the Texans were still playing for everything. Bill O'Brien is my first pick in this week's Goats in a Bad Way draft. Peter, you're up next.
I wish I could have given it to Jonah Monroe. I should have made him my first-round pick. That Chris Sims is very wily. The thing that really bothers me, and then I'll get to my GOAT, is Jonah Monroe, who's the official on the goal line, called something that he did not see.
Right.
I think that is the worst thing about officials. He said that the guy's foot was on the stripe, or I thought that the guy's foot was on the stripe. It never touched the stripe.
No.
You don't call something you don't see. I wish I could give it to Jonah Monroe, but that Chris Sims, he's on his game. I'm going to give this GOAT pick to the Carolina Panthers collectively. to come out and lay a gigantic egg for Perry Fewell when Perry Fewell has been trying most of his career to get a legitimate head coaching sniff, and they come out and they give up 40 to the Atlanta Falcons. Their offense does nothing. I'm giving it to the Carolina Panthers for the no-show in basically jobbing Perry Fewell, who's trying to get a shot to be a head coach.
Yeah, that was disappointing. I'm mad at both of you. I wanted that Houston Texans one, and I was thinking about going Carolina there. That was a total, lay of the egg there in the Atlanta Falcons game, completely by them. Man, I'm going back to refereeville here, and I can't believe it. This time I'm going to 345 Park Ave. And I'm going to Al Riveron, as into the Jets-Miami Dolphins game at the end there. The game's gonna be over. I mean, the Jets are in deep crap, and there is no pass interference called on the field. And then, of course, it gets thrown up to the booth in 345 Park Ave, where they review the play and then call pass interference. Now, listen, Al Riveron's been put in a very tough spot. I know that. I get it. But I just don't like a play where when you watch it in real time, or watch it not only in real time, but watch the play in normal speed, it doesn't look like pass interference. And then we slow it down to ultra slow motion, and, he got there a hair before the ball got there. To me, again, and these big moments, it's 45 seconds. It's 3rd and 17. Rubbing his rate. I mean, are you kidding me? Come on. Are you kidding me? You're going to make a team lose that because of that? I mean, I would have lost and popped the gasket like Brian Flores did too. I mean, I'm dead serious. I might have actually gotten a fight with the referees after the game. I mean, I understand how angry he was. To me, you just don't call that. Rubbing is racing. A little contact is football. And that was just not enough to overturn or throw the flag on a play where it had not been thrown by the guys who were watching it in live action.
Hey, and that B-roll of Brian Flores going after the referee, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fined. I mean, he was up in his face dropping the F-bomb. That's something that is a no-no. Jason Garrett got fined, of all people, for that earlier this year. But the other thing with Al Riveron, to add to your point,
right,
in the pool report that came out of that game where he explained why he did what he did, he actually said that the standard for replay review for pass interference has not changed throughout the course of the year.
I just don't get that.
How I don't know how you can utter those words with a straight face.
Right.
And I understand there's a little element that he's got to be Baghdad Bob in this.
Right.
That he's got to spread the message. But come on. There's a point where you just can't. You can't. Don't assume that people are dumb, because the average football fan is smart enough to know that the standard has changed throughout the course of the year. It's one of the biggest issues that the NFL has been dealing with. All right, for me, next up, I guess he's not a goat. He's more of a turkey, because he went bowling on Saturday night, did Le'Veon Bell, when he had the flu and he was too sick to play the next day. Instead of staying home, he goes out and he spotted, reportedly, this has not yet been confirmed, the Jets declined comment on the matter, but Le'Veon Bell was spotted bowling from 10:30 p.m. until 1 a.m. on Saturday night while his teammates were holed up in a hotel somewhere getting ready to play the Dolphins the next day. Le'Veon Bell, too sick to play football, not sick enough to keep him from going bowling on a Saturday night.
Hey, kudos to the New York Post for getting that story. I read that before we went on the air, and I said, that's a good get. My last GOAT is going to be Doug Marrone. Not only is this a 45-10 egg laying against the Chargers on Sunday at home, but since the fourth quarter, since after the 2-minute warning, in New England a couple of years ago in the AFC Championship game, where the Jacksonville Jaguars were so close to going to the Super Bowl, a Stephon Gilmore batted pass away. That's how close they were to going to the Super Bowl. Since that night, the Jacksonville Jaguars have played 29 games. They're 9-20. How in the world do you go from the heights of that moment to being absolutely irrelevant for 2 straight years? So you're going to have to wear the goat horns this morning, Doug Marrone.
Yeah. I mean, you stole my pick. Yes, I'm with you there. I mean, Doug Marrone, or the Jags defense, like, what the hell happened to them? They let the Chargers have 9.1 yards per play in that game. I mean, that's just unbelievable. They have fallen off the earth, and I'm with you there, Peter, all the way. All right. For lack of having a better pick, okay, I feel like there's lack of GOATs this week. I'm going to go.
Yeah, it's not a great GOAT week.
It's not a great GOAT week. Like, there just wasn't a lot out there. I'm going to go, even though I think they are totally innocent as far as the football side, the video crew for the New England Patriots who went to the Cincinnati Bengals game and, put the camera on this field or on the sidelines for a little bit. I mean, I want to just put it specifically on the video crew, not the New England Patriots, not Bill Belichick. He's got nothing to do with it. But also, they got to have a clue to who they're working for and the stigma that's around them. And to know that, hey, you work for New England, everybody's going to be watching you. And for you to put the camera on the field, like, what a bunch of idiots. And again, I don't think New England's football side of this has any wrongdoing. I've stated that, and I want to state it one more time. But that just, to me, is just, I just can't believe how stupid the video crew is, knowing, hey, we've been hired by the New England Patriots. They have a little bit of a history. And here you are wearing credentials and probably New England gear and doing that. You have to be an idiot, so they get to be a part of the GOAT draft for that.
All right, and for my last pick, and it's really not fair to single him out because it wasn't his decision and it wasn't his fault that it happened, but he's the one in the highlight, and that's Steelers punter Jordan Berry, who just got blown up on the stupidest fake punt of the year, maybe ever, up 10, deep in your own end in the fourth quarter. Mike Tomlin called it. The other 10 guys called it off. They all knew it was off. But Barry is the guy who will always be seen getting completely plastered because he's the one who decided to take off with the football. And I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm sorry. To add insult to injury, you get the goat horns for that hideous and awful fake punt play. All right, that's the GOAT draft for this week.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.